our next speaker, Jaydip Das.
Hi everybody, good morning. My name is Jaydip, as I think has been introduced, and I am in this profession of project management for quite some time now. And currently I am working with Global India Private Limited as a senior agile project manager. Now back to basics, and where it started, this particular topic, where it started, I'll also try to clarify that. In one of the AGM meeting this year, when I think same building we had it, and President PMI chapter Jaydip, right? He mentioned that lot of certifications, lot of knowledge, lot of framework are coming to our life, but I think people are feeling something that looking back, right? Understanding the basics, and I'll come to this point. Now, I will just, for a moment, for all of you, right, this particular slide, just look at it and just try to see and can you, what you imagine from this picture. I'll request all of you, let us just try to get involved with each other in a different way. I will request just look into the picture and try to understand what this picture depicts, and then we'll just start our conversation a little bit. All of you, just try to see, try to maybe you can look into your internal, eye also, just check that for a second, what this picture depicts to you all. I have a meaning for me, which I look at. For you, what does this picture mean? Okay. Molding a lump of clay. Your name please? Vishan. Vishan has said that molding a lump of clay. Anybody else?
Like is shaping the pot, we shape our life.
Great. So I think like shaping of the pot, shaping our life. Next level. Great. I think Mike is not there as of now to share with you. Architect of your future. We have Mike. Yeah. So somebody has said, very nice. So we are just evolving. If we see the thought process, we are evolving. Somebody has said that lump of clay we are molding. Somebody has said that like the lump of clay we are trying to make product, we are making our life, right? Madam has said that molding our might be future, right? I will try to restrict this and very, I think, properly said. I will say that I will try to limit this today's scope of discussion to our PMI association, our work, or might be a lot of people over here who are aspirant project manager or working still as a leader, or might be you are starting your career as a project manager in future, right? That is the journey we are going to have, and our scope of discussion only this, right? So with that I'll start. As you said, exactly correct. Just keep this picture in mind. I'm not going to tell anything as of now. What you said, it is exactly correct. Okay. By the way, this is drawn by me, one of the patient. Okay. One of the patient, but I'll tell what is the story behind it. Okay. Now, coming to certain incidents. Why incidents? It is very necessary to understand that where we are, what we are doing. I'll explain one or two incidents. Recently, I was giving a webinar. One of the participant, he was asking me question, Jaydip, I am in a project manager, working in aspirant basically is doing some job like this in this project management area, and he asked me one question that, do you feel that doing safe will be helpful? Okay, his question was that, will doing safe will help? I told them, okay, what kind of certification you have done? Anything in this line of project management? He has told me that yes, I have done PMP. I have done PMP, but I think that safe will help me, so should I do? Now that is one incident. I will not go to the analysis, right? This is one kind of, just take this incident with you, try to see that where we are standing might be, with some of you, this particular incident will match. It will match in your mind, that question, right? I have done this, so what next? Should I do something else? Now another incident, one of the person, he asked me, while I was in a seminar, he asked me, came to me and asked that, Jaydip, I am doing a job, but right now think that I am going to leave that, and I am looking for some Scrum Master job, right? Scrum Master, normal conversation, because we always network, we talk to each other, we help each other, and we try to get some kind of traction in our career, right? So you asked me, see, these are the very practical things what you see normally when come to network. He asked me that I want to do Scrum Master, so is it possible that can you help me? Now conversation evolved from there. I asked him, okay, why do you want to become a Scrum Master? Very basic question, right? First question, that why you want to become a Scrum Master? Why you feel that you will fit the job and why you want to do it? His next question answer was that I wanted to be a business analyst. I thought I'll change my. He was doing see, everybody has. My career also has transitioned for a lot of areas. I was in food processing industry as a mechanical engineer, and from there different paths I've taken and moved into the career direction. So it is welcome that when somebody wants to change somewhere, right? Now, the person asked that I wanted to do a business analyst. And it is not basically telling somebody what is, it is just analyzing ourselves that how our thought process we should groom, right? Or how it can help. So he asked, when I asked him that why do you feel that then business analyst you don't want to do and you're looking for Scrum Master? So further discussion happened. He told that I figured it out that in business analyst a lot of works are required. We have to do a lot of documentation kind of stuff, right? And a lot of work is there. So I thought that the business analyst will suit me, right? So my thought process next came. I could not tell him because there is a proper way of coaching because Ashutosh already has covered the session earlier, right? That coaching and mentoring and then command to coaching, this kind of. So mentoring and coaching is very important, but you can't tell directly. But the point came that how we select something. If I am selecting something that because it will be easy in my life, then we are choosing it wrongly. The selection is wrong. If something is going to be easy, if I feel that something is going to be easy, that's why I want to choose this profession, then my understanding is limited and I'm choosing a wrong path. Because it is not because easy you're going to choose. We have to choose that whether I'm loving it or not, whether that is aligned with my heart or not, whether I'll be liking it or not, right? So these are the areas very necessary to understand, and these are the few incidents which help me. Now coming to this slide, what you can see over here, all of us. CSM, disciplined agile, PGMP, CMP, then PMI SCP, not bad, everything is required, right? Everything is required, then CSM certificate, safe as a list. We all are in a profession, we evolving, a lot of certifications are coming. The point is that one of the session I attended by one of the speaker, the question was that all the certificates are good, but as long as these certificates are helping us to evolve rather than why we are going to do this question is very much necessary again. Why we want to do the certification? And always for all of us, there is certain motivation behind doing anything, right? Either it is improvement in the job, or might be I want a better job to get with a higher salary, or somebody might be looking that I want to understand what is that lying there, right? Now, point is that all these things are there. Ultimately, what happens? We are confused. What? For a lot of us, we are confused in the mind. What we do? So many frameworks are coming. So many certifications are coming. If we see nowadays, PMI basically, if we go to the higher slide, PMI came up with one certification called PMI ACP. My experience, okay, PMI ACP. I personally feel that this particular certification, if we are going to do this, we do not need any other kind of certification because it covers everything. It covers all the area of agile project management. Before, still things are changing. A lot of changes are happening. A lot of modifications in the market is happening. So evolving is there. But this particular certification, SCP, it covers everything. You will understand what is PO. You will understand what is Scrum Master. You will understand what is XP. You will understand what is Crystal. All this kind of is required. But what happens? There is a saying that लोग तो भगवान को भी लेके बिजनेस करते हैं, right? हम इंसान भगवान को भी नहीं छोड़ते, हम उससे भी बिजनेस करते हैं. For us, this kind of certification, all these things becoming a business also nowadays. PO का certification एक, CSM का certification एक, Scrum Master का, we will get confused. We think that I'll do something and it will give a very big boost in my career and I'll get a good salary, big salary. But normally in the practical, if you go to the company, the scenario is different. Certifications are good, but company do they look in that angle? Right? Very practical thing I want to say because some of you were coming to the corporate world and those who are struggling or in the field, you will find that company has a different perspective over there. Right? Either it is with PMP certification, either it is SCP certification, either it is safe, anything. Right? Practical scenario in the ground is different. Now, if that is the case, then should not I go for this learnings or certification? My take will be that you should surely go for that certification and knowledge. Why it is necessary? It is necessary for our self-understanding and self-esteem and self-respect. I'll tell one story of a project manager. Everybody, if you are not going into the IT field in the path of architect, suppose you are basically SME and you practically feel that you want to do something in the technical line, right? Either it is .NET or might be today nowadays AI is there, blockchain is there, data science is there. You choose that path of technical directly and you want to do over there, then you can be a single contributor or you can be excel over there. But if you feel that you want to grow to the other side where it is functional, then definitely project management or functional side is important, right? Now every project, and see another thing I'll say that in our the corporate area, you'll find that the path is always not easy. That you try to get something, people will come and give you on a platter. It does not happen. You have to prove yourself, and then there will be a lot of politics also there because all of you are working in the corporate. You know that politics plays a major role. Either we understand it or don't understand it, it plays, right, role. So the point is that that particular person, he worked for a long time in the IT field, and then his aspiration was to go to the project management role, right? Now, a lot of time, what happens, I think those who are PM over here, or you have done the PMP certification, you know the halo effect, right? You know that there is a term called HALO, halo effect. The thing is that if I think, or if my company feels that this person is technically good, he is going to be equally a good project manager, that is a wrong perception. That is a wrong idea. It may not happen that way, right? So that person, when he thought of taking this role up, and he is selected and went to this role, he figured it out that you either you should have a knowledge or you should not have. If you do not have knowledge, you go and take the knowledge by your work experience. You get into a project and then start doing project management stuffs over there. Gradually, you will find that rather than you stand on your feet and do the project management, you will be doing it by the dictation of others. Might be your CTO, might be your CEO, right? They will dictate how to run the project. With that project manager, same thing happened. We talk a lot of good things, ethically correct. PMI, lot of time, and most of the time, you'll find if you go through the PM book, you will find that there is a separate chapter or guidelines to maintain the ethical things in a project management domain. It is there. But if you see and go to the practical field when you start working in the project on the ground, we see that we keep aside a lot of time that ethical stuff. Okay? We will be talking a lot of stuff which are good, but practically on the ground, a lot of different thing happens. Now, point is that why the question coming? You have to do it your job, right? You can't leave the job. You need it because that's similar Maslow's basic thing. You need a job to survive and then excel over there. But point is that when somebody is dictating on your job and qualification or the stuff you are doing, if you are not aware of it, then you will not be leading it. You will be led by somebody else. Okay? Very basic. That's why all of us who are over here, those who are associated with PMI and getting into touch with these, might be the chapter or you are learning, it is always good to learn it. And then these certifications are basically blocked one, which help us to understand what is there. Now that project manager, he spoke to his manager. And manager was good. A lot of time manager does not matter that manager are always bad. There are a lot of good people are there who will guide you and coach you and they will give the good direction also. That manager helped that person who is supposed to start up, as a PM, he told that be associated with project management, PMI, and then try to understand what is there. And PMP that time was a very, it is always tough. Now also it is tough. A lot of people are doing a wrong way of getting the certificate, but apart from this, it's really a globally acclaimed certification if you do it and achieve it, right? So preserve that properly. So he did that certification after a lot of time. But the question comes that when it was done, PMP, right? It was very necessary to understand then what does, if traditional project management we are talking about, then what does agile means? Because a lot of time that discussion was going on that the project management, all those stuff will be doing in agile. So people will ask in the interview, what is agile? And now it is a very buzzword, everybody uses agile. But then that person, to do that, it was not for that, because I don't know that how many of you have read the book by Rita Mulkai for PMP? I see a couple of hands are going up. Rita Mulkai book, famous book, right? She is no more there. But I think when I started for PMI preparation, Rita Mulkai book was the inspiration. And the first things what I got over there was that line that take PMP certification not for anything, any gain, either it is financial or a job position or something else. Take this journey as a journey. Take it as a journey that you are on a path and try to enjoy that path. And that particular line was embossed in my heart. So after PMP, that person did SAP also to understand what is the difference. Because if we don't understand, somebody will come and talk about traditional project management. Your client will come and say that why you do everything in agile, but you have to understand and differentiate that where to place what. As Ashutosh has given the framework, right? All those framework of managing people, coaching, mentoring, and we have discussed over here. We can't put everything in a single box. It is situational. The situation it demands, we have to see that particular role we are playing and able to handle the situation. Sometimes we have to be Gen X, sometimes we have to be in a commanding style, sometimes we have to into leadership. If somebody does not listen nowadays what is happening, we are being told to come to office. Every company is saying, right, that we have to come to office. Now as a manager, as a leader, how much difficult you find to convince the people to come to office? How many people say that yes ma'am, I'll go? Or how many times you hear that okay, there was some problem or kuch to ho gaya isliye office aaj nahi paya. This is what happens, right? So in that kind of situation where company demanding a compliance because of SEG and some other stuff, as a manager, either you have to be bad and then you have to see that the compliance is failing. You have to take some tactics over there, right? To manage that. So servant leadership is not going to definitely work out over there. Then you have to do some kind of autocratic or some other kind of stuff and mechanism to the people who are coming to office also, and that office compliance is meeting. So it's always a situational and complex stuff over there, how we handle this situation. Now that's why these particular things, as you have seen, it is confusing. If it is necessary, then what to do? Basic thing will be to start with what we learn, then implementing it, and then improving and using it. Simple fact in life. Somebody was telling, basically you don't have to do a lot of certification. Any one certification, any two certification if you are doing, and after this, we implement it in our daily life, in our work or personal life, this cycle is very much important for that. This loop. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are learning, certification and all these things, if you are implementing it and then learning from that, that is going to help us. Right? So, over here, back to basic. If we see over here, anybody can tell in this difference over here in this slide? Technical project manager, they have made it way of working, then leadership, strategic to business acumen. Anyone? Anyone? ये PMI का है, जिन्होंने PMI certification किया हुआ है, और those who are basically in the PMI associated, you know this triangle which PMI basically speaks about, and there is a change, there is a shift over here, right? So any understanding from this? Transition towards more towards the people skill. Okay, so power skill is there we are talking about, and transformation. Transformation, what kind of transformation? Okay. Okay, so there is that change it now. That's why they don't talk about this particular triangle right now. The triangle, whatever the PDU you are getting, right? We come to sessions, we get PDUs, you do some learning, you get PDUs. Those PDUs gets divided into these three areas, right? It gets divided. So how it is happening? See, earlier when we worked in a traditional project management earlier, a long time back. But nowadays, if any company either they are following traditional or agile, doesn't matter, because the scenario has got changed such a way. Either we mark it or not, the style of working is agile, because always customer asks for some iteration, some changes. Either we do it or not. In my experience, I have worked in a company, earlier company, where there was no mandate that you have to follow certain kind of management technique. Whatever you follow, goal is up to get the output. Customer should be happy. When we as a project manager and go and do it, try to execute, we face the basically hit that what kind of methodology to follow over there. And there it comes to decide that which area, which way of to do it. And another thing, lot of people ask that, what kind of project management technique should I follow over there, right? The question should be with me. As a project manager, if I'm starting any project, it will be my responsibility to understand that what kind of methodology should be followed over there. If the organization following agile, top to bottom, then well and good, because it is set over there. The organization understands, the organization should have the understanding with the client. The client is equally taking part into the project success, then it is set. But a lot of time it happens that customer, though we talk and agree in our MSA and other things that agile we are following, but we see that we are not following agile. If customer does not come and take part in your stand up, they don't give time, then what will happen? The project anyway will not be successful, because you're not getting somebody to give you continuous feedback over there, right? So this situation arises. So that's why it is always situational, that one particular size will not fit every project. It will not fit. So we have to understand, standing on the ground as a PM, as a whatever the role we are playing with the team, that what kind of management area we have to follow. But the basic always remain is that PDCA cycle. Do you remember the PDCA cycle? All of us? That is the basic. That will be always there. What kind of certification we do, we are going to follow that PDCA cycle all the time. Now we are talking about discipline, agile or safe. The question is that when those people who came up with the agile manifesto or agile principles, was it that when they came up with these principles, 12 principles or 4 manifesto, did they tell that this was an undisciplined agile? No. The fundamental was that they understood that people as a human being will be disciplined and they will follow them. And scale agile, that basic fundamentals was that it is scalable. Now we with time evolve and come up with some framework additionally and try to implement. So the point is this, my word taken over here is that because a lot of time there are a lot of college students who are studying and a lot of interaction I do, a lot of time this question comes that, what will be the future of project management domain? Because the way ChatGPT, the way technology is taking over, what will be the role of human being, right, in those areas? Will technology take over or not in future, right? Point is that as long as we are learning, then improving and implementing, there will be no replacement for human being at least. The moment we stop our learning, the moment we don't look inside and try to grow, then the challenge will come. Right? Now this is another one thing, that continuous learning process. What are the things that are required for us? What are the areas, what are the pointers which help us? Because a lot of time it happens that I have basically seen, I don't know how many of you have experienced that when being a manager, you go for an interview, we take interview for candidates. We see that a lot of time people say that I have done PMP, but now I don't practice. I don't read it. Why? No, I think my company does not give value to that. Right? Is a common scenario, right? I think all of us have seen that, and those who take interviews and all these things for upcoming PM and all this, and these answers we get. And people don't remember what are the basic fundamentals we have studied, and so much of money and energy is spent for getting those certificates. They feel that, okay, the company is not asking or following them, that's why I should not do it. Or might be agile or safe, whatever the certification you take. I have not seen any particular company that they follows completely all the things. Right? Because it is not the case. For any business, any company, the main priority is their business and the growth. That is what is the main important thing. Now, some of companies, things are changing. They are trying to change as a whole organization to completely adopt agile, or to make it, being agile, doing agile, being agile. There are a lot of phrases are coming out nowadays. We are trying to do that. But point is that when I join as a company, in a company, or you are joining in a company, where you was standing, what you are going to contribute over there, being a person, that makes the difference. Might be that small group of people you are getting, 10, 15 people. With them, whatever things you have learned, or I have learned, am I implementing that or not? Now I think here I'll try to see, lot of sessions, lot of talk is there, right? But the moment Ashutosh played the video, how was the feeling with all of you? Where you were in that video when it was running? Where was your heart? Right, the complete incident it was playing, right? We actually, that video took us to a different level. We can come up with a lot of guidelines, lot of framework, lot of stuff, but that video when played, that is completely leadership. That is leadership, right? And we, all of us, with that small child, that boy, we were taken into different level in our mental heart, right? We felt something over there, something touched us. That is leadership. And all these learnings, project management and other stuff, they are, see, this is not talking about any particular framework or particular learning over here. It is talking about attitude. If we take this example of the boy, how different was the attitude from the other people? All are learned. Somebody is minister, somebody is professional, driving car. But attitude, thinking, creativity, everything is dying with time. Is it? If we have to ask this question to ourselves. As we grow, as we join jobs or do work, is it that all these faculties within us, is it dying? And that video was really excellent, right? It touched us, took us to a different level of leadership basically. Nobody's claiming, he's not claiming anything, but he just wanted to do something and everybody joined with him. For all of us as a PM, because a lot of time I see that when I interact with project managers, or those going to join in a company, take the interview, we feel that we choose to do our certification or learning for a wrong perspective. If we are going to do it only for hike of salary, then we'll be facing what is called mirage, right? Your dream, lot of time it will not be fulfilled. It helps, but you have to understand that certification doing for job purpose or getting a better job, it does not play the role that way. It is only when we are keeping the heart alive and trying to learn something new and grow. With me, our parameter of growth, our parameter of progress should be ourselves. Have I progressed today 1 inch? Have I moved today or growth today in a better future or better person today? That should be the goal. If that is the case, we are going to learn. Now, academic curiosity, reading and practices, extended knowledge levels, I think these are the associated part with those characteristics things. This, I think, morning you have you have come over here, you are sitting, so definitely there is something that you are putting some time for learning, right? So this is what the continuous process is there. If you keep that mind and have these things, we can definitely learn and grow. So that question, one person when asked me, I think a couple of years back, that project management, how it will be in the future. Point is that as technology is evolving, as staffs are changing, market dynamic is changing, if we keep learning and keep open ourselves, then definitely we have to look for the trend and adopt ourselves in that way. I think I'm not going to speak about that. So now before I end, right? Before I end with this, I think how much time? 22 minutes. Before I end, I'll be going with one story to understand that back to basics. Either it is PDCA cycle, either it is project management, either it is agile. Let us try to, rather than confusing ourselves with a lot of things, when we talk about agile, it is 4 principles, 4 manifesto and 12 principles. And if we talk about traditional, because see, as Ashutosh has said, traditional project management, it is not obsolete, it is required. A lot of areas, lot of field traditional project management is still required, right? It will be there. Agile will have its own area of playing the role. It will be there, but you have to understand where to implement what, and accordingly you have to play it. Now there was a small story to understand that where role we play when back to basics or how do it. There is a principle, very simple thing. One day, see, we always aspire for a role, right, to go to the higher level and get that role over there. Now one day. So one day, as you know that I think it's a mythological story. Vishnu was sitting in his place at a boat, right? And as you know, Garuda is basically we call it vehicle or vahana of Vishnu, right? So he was sitting over there, Vishnu, and Narada came over there, right? Like us, a aspirant in a project management or to go to the higher role or something. So Narada came one day and came and asked Vishnu that, why do you feel that you keep Garuda as your in your home, and before that you place his statue and then you always carry with him, you give so many importance to Garuda, right? And why not me? What is lacking in me? What is that lacks in me? So Vishnu did not say anything. At the same time, there was a very big sound outside. Something big sound happened, and Vishnu got a little bit perplexed. He said, "Okay, Narada, can you do one thing? Can you just go out and see that what has happened? Can you give me the information?" So Narada went outside. He came back and saying that, "Okay, one old lady was there. She fell down, and whatever the milk she was having, that splashed over there, and because of that sound happened." Okay. Then Vishnu asked that, "Okay, can you tell me that was she injured or how she is now right now? Is she fine?" Then Vishnu and Narada again went out and asked, okay, I asked her, she had, couple of 4 pitcher of milk, everything actually, she fell down, she's not injured right now, but all her pitchers has basically destroyed, only one is there, so that is what she told. So Vishnu again asked him, that can you go and ask her that will she, because today business is not going to happen, so can we help her, can you take some milk from her? And Narada got a little bit irritated. Agile project management, right? Client is asking a lot of change, and we get irritated, right? Why my production is not going to the production? Customer is asking so many change. And I have seen that. 6-7 members, we have groomed them in automation anywhere, and customer every time we are in the UAT, we will be tomorrow we are going to production. Keep it great. Customer is coming and changing, asking. And these guys are irritated. What this customer does not know what he knows. For last 3 months, 6 months, he's giving use case, working on this. We will not do this kind of changes. Why he does not know from the beginning? Now, the same thing happened. It is not a old stuff. Narada got irritated. Hey, you go and ask. Why you are asking me something? You know what is your question. You go and ask. That time, Garuda came. And Vishnu said that, Garuda, can you just tell me that what happened? One lady fell outside. Can you tell me what happened? Then Garuda said, yes, sir. I'll go and give his answer. Then Vishnu said, Narada, you sit. Let us see what he does. Then Garuda came back after some time. Vishnu said, what happened, Garuda? He said, one lady was there, her name is Lakshmi, and she fell down because of something. She's now a snake, so he gave the reason also why she fell down, right? She is now a snake, and then she got afraid and she fell down. She had 4 pitcher of milk, 3 actually got, she can't do anything today, any business, but 1 pitcher is there, that is there, and she's a very old lady. So I asked her that my boss, Vishnu, he is very, kind-hearted, we say God or something, we can say man or something, whatever it is, very kind-hearted. So I see 1 pitcher is there with you. So if you sell to him, because his wife is Lakshmi, who is a wealthy lady, so he definitely purchase your milk, and then you can at least survive for today. You will get a lot of money, because if he is happy and she is happy, then you will get a lot of money. So I made the deal. She will sell the milk to you, and her day also will be solved. Now Vishnu turned to Narada and said that, have you seen what happened? So the point over here is that it is not a project manager, it is not a business analyst, it is not a tester, it is not a coding I am doing. In one of the session when we are taking as a town hall, normally a lot of company does town halls, right, to update. Now in Globant, when we had last town hall, our TDC head, Shivraj, he came and told that to all the people who are there, because a lot of people are there, project manager, developer, tester, a lot of people are there. He asked that, how many of you have seen ChatGPT, what it does, right? Now ChatGPT is going to replace the way we do the coding in future. Because you put a code and it will give everything to you, right? Then do we need a coder, basically? If I put a code or some sentences over there or something what I need, then definitely code will be coming. The question is that, do we need a coder or do we need a solution provider? This two term is quite a different stuff. Solution provider is different than a coder. If I feel my job is a project manager, I'll do that only, I'm wrong. project manager might be the work, but what is the leadership? What is the contribution I'm doing? Like same, when Garuda came back, Vishnu's answer was done in a single question only. He gave everything picture, right? That is what is needed from the leaders who are coming tomorrow. Anywhere, any role play. Because what I've seen, lot of time, I'll just give small example from this, why this story I brought over here. When we give some piece of work to the developers, there is a business requirement document which reads everything out, how to read it, how to figure the solution. Lot of time we feel that somebody will come and tell us what to do, ordering. That mentality is very difficult. Somebody will tell us, somebody will order us, I'll do that. When you go and the piece is done and go ask that, okay, what you have done? No, my team leader has said, that's why I've done it. Have you read the business and document to understand what is the business logic it is telling? Or you have heard your TL over there or PM? Might be I'm a PM. I'm a very commanding style. I'm telling you do this. We create and build a habit of taking order, not finding solution. And every company nowadays is looking and striving for people who will be out of that cocoon of what is your designation and be looking for a solution provider over there. They're looking for the Garuda. ChatGPT, AI, now see, I think there are a lot of tools are nowadays coming up. You don't need to be an artist nowadays. You don't need a human artist over there. Just put some pictures and give the command. It is creating a 3D picture. It is creating a picture. Where is the people value are there today? But definitely, I think the value is there where the creativity from the human side is coming, right? So with this story, I'll try to end that basic thing is that whatever the learning we do, I'm not saying these are not necessary. These are necessary because it will help us to understand what the world is thinking, how the world is changing. But back to basics, keep that foot. Foot should be on the ground and then try to touch the sky, the moon and the stars. But foot should be on the ground. So basic, make it clear. And this particular story of Garuda, if you remember that what is there, it will help in our career in a lot of way because designation nowadays plays a very less role than the leadership. Right? So let us be the Garuda, not the Narad. Right? With that, thank you very much. I'll stop over here. Thank you very much. And I think today I'll take this, the Ashutosh, that slide and the small child, right? The boy. We cannot push the tree, but we can try. Somebody will one day join us. As a PM, definitely we can make a lot of difference. Right? A lot of difference we can make in our area. So with that, I'll stop. Thank you all for hearing patiently to me in this Saturday morning. Thank you very much.
The floor is open for the questions.
No questions, so all the answers are given, right? It's like, Garuda has given the answers in the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
So basically, you had mentioned a very good thing that there are several times when somebody doesn't go through the documentation. The customer has given a requirement, somebody doesn't go through documentation. Obviously, we are heading towards a failure. What can you do when you are asking for the documentation and your management is clueless? Any guidance that you can provide?
No, can you rephrase your question?
So imagine you are on a project and you have been given a task that the end goal is so and so and so. However, you have some queries that you want to check. That okay, what would be the aspects of it? What would be the properties of it? So and so and so. So you ask your leadership that can you provide me with the, let's say, requirement document or the SOW that you have signed with the customer? What are the what is in scope, what is out of scope, and so on and so forth. However, for sadly, Indian mentality, several times we have accepted the project without even understanding the project.
Yes.
So in that situation, any tips or guides that guidelines that you could
see? There are two things. If you are saying SOW and MSA, then definitely it is the responsibility of the PM or the person is taking, right? Nowadays it happens, we see that the people are doing Scrum Master or something. It is a very, I rather say it is my opinion. Scrum Master and other things, this is a subset of project management domain completely. It's a little part of it. And we think that, no, you have to know, you have to understand MSA, you have to understand contract, you have to understand all these things, otherwise you're going to be blunder over there, right? So it is necessary. So it is the PMs or the person who is responsible, he should know that what is written. Now that is one area, I will put that person who is going to take the project and run it, whether it is going under budget or over budget or timeline schedule, this is PM's job, at least to understand those risks. Now coming to the requirement gathering or those things, if you are giving a job to the team members, I think the best place, Agile has already answered, the stand-up meetings, right? When we discuss and try to understand, because it is not only the 2 weeks after the demo only will be doing the customer. No, if things are done, let us check, recheck. I think that is a simple thing, right? To re-evaluate the staffs are doing or not. There will be a lot of different team members. Everybody will have in a different graph. Somebody will be in 0.2, somebody will be in 5, somebody will be 10, somebody will be 6, and it runs like that, the project, right? So if we feel that where we have to give the focus and where we have to understand, because some of the team member you definitely know they are going to do fantastic, right? You know that, and somewhere you know that it needs, like Ashutosh said, some kind of coaching, mentoring, guiding. But somewhere you might need that, kind of, autocratic kind of, you have to do that. So I think stand up, is very important. That 15 minutes stand up really playing a role because it is removing a lot of risk, right? Otherwise, in traditional project management, write and check and go back, but that thing is reduced. So I think that is always better to 15 minutes connect and check that things are going in right direction or not. And another thing, the dedication, right? As a PM or as everything you cannot do, so somebody has to be pair programming. That's why is another good concept to understand things are going on or something slipping out or not, right? So that is the good thing, and there should become check mark that people are reading really the BRD or things are they're really understanding or not. That checking should be there time to time. But it needs time. A lot of time we feel that okay, it is not required to go back and check those things. You try to miss it out, right? So that is very much important that you spend some time with the team members and then those checking and all these things happens. That way it can be reduced a lot. Yeah.
We have time for one last question.
Somebody. That's it.
Jaydip.
Hi.
My question is like, as a PM, we generally work with the on-site and the offshore, the West and us. So if I'm into a transformation project, how do I deal with, like, if you have an example or an incident where you can share with us, how do I deal with the mindset of the West and the East?
Mindset of West and East. I think I think PMI PMBOK guide is really basically a good place to understand. It has a pointer, right? In Agile we say that customer collaboration over contract negotiation, right? Customer collaboration, right? Now the point is this: in India we prefer mostly the relationship. We are emotional people. जिसके साथ चिपकते हैं बॉन्ड अच्छा होता है, नहीं चिपका तो फेविकॉल नहीं है, right? तो a lot of things runs this way. Your promotion, your career, आप कितना भी अच्छा काम कर लो अगर उस बंदे के आँख में अच्छे नहीं हो तो हो गया बंटा धार, ठीक है? तो वो ये चीज है हमारा, ये हमारे कल्चर में है, right? We are very egoistic. In West, what I have seen, they are open-minded, they will talk to you openly, and जितना काम का दायरा है वहाँ तक ही है. Okay, it is limited. अगर आपका 9 बजे से लेके 5 बजे तक वहाँ तक ही है, काम करोगे आप ओपनली क्वेश्चन भी पूछ सकते हो. तो यहाँ पे आपको क्वेश्चन पूछने के लिए दोबारा सोचना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? क्योंकि काम कितना अच्छा कर लो लेकिन क्वेश्चन पूछ के हार्ड कर दिया तो हो गया फिर, ठीक है? तो पॉइंट ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है. वहाँ पे आपको you have to understand that is the point over here. वहाँ पे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे काम चलता है. अगर आपने कुछ बोला है आप करके दोगे, there is something आपका यूज केस है, एक्सेप्टेंस क्राइटेरिया प्रॉपर्ली लिखा हुआ है, you are delivering it's good. Now when you mix these two, right? और lot of time क्या होता है, मैं मेरे को लेके जाता हूँ वहाँ पे प्लेस करता हूँ. मैं तो बहुत इंडियन बंदा हूँ, इमोशनल, मतलब मिल जाते हैं, घुल मिल जाते हैं सबसे. Now I'll tell my incident so that you can understand. I was working in a project for a long time. One lady was there. You can say she was the product owner, old lady. एंड जब हम प्रोजेक्ट में काम करते थे बहुत ओपनली बात होता, मतलब हम खोल के हंसते भी थे, सब कुछ करते थे. वी यूज्ड टू डू वेरी इंटरेक्शन वाज वेरी गुड एंड शी वाज वेरी सपोर्टिव. तो यू ऑलवेज हम लोग क्या सोचते थे, देयर इज अ लिमिट फ्रॉम देयर साइड व्हेन दे कम फॉरवर्ड, राइट? एंड दे एक्सटेंड एज अ जॉब. तो वन डे व्हाट हैपेंड, देयर वाज अ मीटिंग गोइंग ऑन. आई वाज here in India, so you are almost 7,000 that kilometer distance is there. We were talking about all those technology gadgets are there. I was talking and having the discussion. Now in that meeting, what happened? There was another lady, her boss was sitting over there. ठीक है? तो दूसरा कोई आ गया और आपको ये स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट समझना पड़ेगा. इसीलिए प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट का जो भी चीजें है, नॉलेज एरिया है, आप कितना भी एजेंट लेके आओ कुछ, लेकिन वो नॉलेज एरिया हटा नहीं सकते. आपको समझना जरूरी है सर, बेसिक फंडा. ठीक है? तो वहाँ पे वो लेडी उस दिन आ गई थी. शी वाज सिटिंग, हर बॉस, एंड शी वाज देयर. उसके साथ रिलेशनशिप बहुत अच्छा था. बट दैट डे मीटिंग वी आर टॉकिंग ऑन समथिंग जहाँ पे हमने थोड़ा गिगल भी किया है, बात किया, हंसी मजाक किया, कुछ हुआ बातों बातों में. उसके बाद से मैंने देखा उनका रवैया थोड़ा चेंज हो गया. समथिंग हैज गॉट चेंज्ड एंड इट इज स्टार्टिंग अफेक्टिंग योर प्रोजेक्ट वर्क आल्सो. Now the point is analysis, right? You start analyzing what happened, क्या हो क्या गया. तो इंडिया में करते भाई लोगों से हंसी मजाक करते, हर कोई मिलकर करता है ना. The point is that what I understood जब मैंने एनालाइज किया उसको, try to understand कि क्या हुआ होगा. That meeting, at least you were sitting not face to face. It was not a video call, it was over phone. So you don't see each other, right? And you are sitting so much distance. अभी एक दूसरा उसका बॉस भी बैठा हुआ है, तो हमें वो इक्वेशन पता नहीं बॉस के सामने उसका क्या, जो हंसी मजाक कर रहे थे उन्होंने किस तरह से लिया है उसको. शायद उनको बुरा लगे, कुछ बुरा वाली बात था नहीं, बट शी माइट हैव टेकन इट ए रॉन्ग वे कि उतना ओपनली बात शायद होना नहीं चाहिए था. शी टूक इट रॉन्ग वे. तो उनका जो परसेप्शन उस टाइम पे कॉल पे हुआ, उसके लिए उनको, तो वहाँ पे मुझे थोड़ा सा वो मेंटेन करना चाहिए था. आई शुड हैव मेंटेन कि वहाँ पे they might have the privilege or authority to laugh openly on something, but being a person who is serving, right, as a vendor, we should understand how to behave. So इसीलिए काफी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, इधर इन्फोसिस ले लो या कोई बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ले लो जहाँ पे आप कभी ट्रैवल करते हो कोई दूसरा कंट्री में, प्रोजेक्ट तो अलग बात है, लेकिन आपको कल्चरल के बारे में बताया जाता है. कल्चरल लर्निंग, कल्चरल एटिकेट, कल्चरल थिंग्स, कि उस कंट्री में जाके आपको कैसे बात करना है, जो यहाँ पे बहुत नॉर्मल में वहाँ पे नहीं भी हो सकता है. तो these are actually the aspects of प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट हुआ भी है, जहाँ पे आपको समझना पड़ेगा कैसे करना है, आपको प्रत्येक लोगों को पता करना है कि कैसे लोगों को बिहेव करना है, कैसे उनको प्रेस करना है, कैसे उनको कुछ बोलना है. सो दैट लर्निंग इज इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट. बाकी जो आई थिंक आप जो बोल रहे थे कि कैसे हैंडल करना है, आई थिंक बेस्ट वे ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द टीम ओवर देयर, कस्टमर ओवर देयर. यहाँ पे आपका देखो दायरा क्या है, एंड मेनली टू फोकस ऑन द आउटकम, रिजल्ट क्या चाहिए, उतना तक अगर करते हैं. और बाकी कभी बार हम लोग जैसे बता रहे इमोशनली अटैच हो जाते हैं, बहुत कुछ करते हैं, उसको लिमिट रखना बेटर है. बिकॉज अननेसेसरली बोलते हैं ना कि ये मुंह है और दो कान है, तो बात कम ज्यादा सुनो, राइट. एक ही मुंह है तो इट्स प्रैक्टिकल. आई एम सेइंग दैट दिस इज हिट बैक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टॉकिंग मोर रादर देन हियरिंग मोर इज ऑलवेज बेनिफिशियल. बिकॉज इसलिए दो दिया हुआ है, एक दिया ये प्रैक्टिस करना, जो लोग ज्यादा बोलते हैं उनके लिए ज्यादा है, मतलब प्रैक्टिस करना. ठीक है.
Hello.
Just want to add one thing on your question. So when we talk about cultural differences, it's of course what Jaydip said. But to add on, we Indians we don't tend to say no to things, But people who are working in Europe or working from US, when we commit for a deadline, they mean that okay, we say at 8 April, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. That means it needs to be delivered at that point. But we sometimes are a little bit scared, or we don't want to be upfront to them, and we get into a mode, okay, we'll do it. But somehow we know that at the back of our mind, we will not be able to deliver it. So when you work with a project towards modernization or no modernization, you are working with a business for a delivery, it's always better to be upfront. And if you are facing any challenges, be open to that. I have seen people, I've worked with a lot of people across the globe in different stakeholders. I have even worked closely with Germans who are very straightforward. But if you are open to them, they will appreciate that. Maybe for that moment they will feel bad. But if they have expectations that okay, this is something which is getting delayed, and you are being open around it, that will help create a bonding with them. And next time you won't be get that way or a bad treatment, which might happen if you don't deliver after you commit. So that is one of the aspects as part of culture, that we should know the art of saying no to things if we are not able to achieve it, and be open and transparent with one of the pillars we say from Scrum, the transparency and integrity. We should work with that. Just wanted to add, when you spoke about culture.
Excellent point. Why Shubham has said that it is very important. I'll say that another example. When I started my current project with normally what happens in India, see, हमें एक आदत पड़ चुकी है, पता नहीं कहीं पे देखा हुआ है, इन्फोसिस का नारायण मूर्ति का वन पॉइंटर था कि ऑफिस में आते हो तो बजिंग साउंड रात में होता है, तो मैनेजर समझता है कि बंदा ज्यादा काम कर रहा है, मतलब जो रात में रह गया 5 बजे के बाद वही काम करे, बाकी नहीं काम करते. ये मेंटलिटी हम लोग बना चुके हैं, राइट. पॉइंट वो नहीं है, बात ये है कि हम कितना काम जल्दी कर सकते हैं. तो इस प्रोजेक्ट में जब चालू हुआ हमारे जब थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, आई से दैट देयर आर पीपल आर चेंजिंग. My boss who came and when I started the project, he said set the expectation with the customer very clearly, because that US client timing anyway आपको stretch हो जाता है, right. Set a expectation कि इतने बजे के बाद people will not be available. This is my job for handling my team members lifestyle and everything, right. We set that expectation in the beginning, बहुत पहले ही चालू होने से पहले हमने सेट कर दिया. काफी जगह पे क्या होता है, लोग स्ट्रेच करते हैं, प्रोजेक्ट में जाते हैं, कस्टमर बोलते हैं ओके हाँ करेंगे ना, ठीक है, क्या टीम मेंबर तो करने वाला है, सर्विस भी काम करेगा, फर्क पड़ता है. That is actually wrong. People will leave, right? So what Shubham is saying, set the expectation beginning थोड़ा बुरा लगेगा, लेकिन बाद में उनको भी समझ में आएगा कि this is what is expected. So this is very obvious. So there is another very beautiful point.
So we have few seconds. He wants to share something. So few seconds, please.
Thank you. Actually, Jaydip, I just wanted to add my practical experience regarding your story. There are very new generation people here. Actually, during my training period, in plant training, I am from mechanical background, and that time one of the incident happened, like Garuda story only. I was in a training and I was with the maintenance department, and that was my first day. And I asked him, sir, I want to learn from you. So he did not give time on first day. Then second day, same thing happened. I asked, sir, give some work, I want to start. Then second day also he didn't give me something. Then third day he asked me, okay, I will give you some task. Go to shop floor. There are nearly 20 machines there, molding CNC machines, SPM machines like that. So he asked me to go there, machine number 5, and see what is happening on that job. So it was nearly second floor. And shop was nearly 1 acre building was there, and in that it was at the end. So I ran. It was like I was agile that time, and I was still running there. I gone to that machine. I have seen some job was going on. I ran from there, and again I came and said, "Sir, this job is running on that." Then he said, "It's very good." Then again he said, "Go to 6 number machine. What is happening on that?" Like that he done like nearly 10 times. I was running completely 2 floors. I was going up to the end. I was running there, and again I was giving him feedback. Then after that he just asked me to get relaxed, and he said, you should have spent some time on the shop floor, and you should have seen all the machines, and you should have seen after 10 minutes you could have understand all that practical thing. And that practical experience, you may not be remember this Garuda story, or after that what is the Narad is going to say, but this practical experience always helps me in my life, because after that it helps me in my complete career in project management. When I was doing some project management shop floor, my team members, I used to ask them to go to shop floor. They will never come, they never goes there. And when I used to come to office, immediately I start, instead of going my place, I used to go from software. I used to see what is happening for that project. And we immediately in the morning, but I ask my team members what is happening about that job. They don't have answers, but I used to keep my apps updated, and I used to give feedback that these are the things that are happening in that project. So this is the practical. If you get that feel, then it will be always remembered.
Thank you. Your name, sir?
Thanks for sharing.
Huh? Santosh. Thank you, Santosh. One small thing, okay, before what Santosh said, just one line, okay. This is the book which I have written it. The point over here, what I said, it just remind me. One of the story over there written. As I told, I was a mechanical engineer, and I used to go to the shop floor to work. How many of you have seen lathe machine? A lot of people have seen lathe machine. Well, very good, excellent. Right? Lathe machine have seen. Okay. So supervisor, what is the supervisor? You go, you are mechanical engineer, you have a position degree, you go there, and the person who is really cutting the iron over there, right? Angoda Sam. Now he is 70 years old. That person was there, right? And मैं जाता था उनको मेरा नया जॉब लगा था. He was 70 years. मुझे एक दिन सच्ची में बुला के बोला, जयदीप, आप आपके डिग्री के लिए यहाँ पे खड़े हो, लेकिन मेरे को आपसे ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है. नया था, it was new, right? You get that ego clash and all these things. I said, no, you are really, what you are saying is correct. I am over here not to supervise you. I am over here to learn from you. तो दोस्ती एक बना gradually, right? And he used to cut those pieces iron. एक बार में लगा, एक बार में निकलता था. One time, pieces are, this all those curves and all these things. One time, running out. 70-year-old. मैंने एक दिन उनको पूछा कि आप इतना precision से कैसे करते हो? How you do this job so? I tried it. He told me, okay, you try. See, वहाँ पे आपका ईगो तोड़ना पड़ेगा. You are a supervisor, you have a degree and all this thing. lathe machine में जाके चलाते तो मैं आयरन तो खराब हो रहा है बिल्कुल. Waste. Whatever I do, कहीं तो ज़्यादा जा रहा है, कहीं ऊपर जा रहा है. So he used to laugh at me. But that, ego problem dissolved when I said, yes, I'm over here to learn from you. Then I asked him, how do you do so precisely? Every piece is coming out fantastic. One word, I think, see, I always tell that whatever I do or something, I keep an eye with that spirituality thing over there, right? ये हमारे heart की core में है. We give name. I think there is no name to the unmanifested one. He said me one word. He said, Jaydip, when I do the work in lathe machine, I become one with this machine and this piece. I am one with this piece. I am one with this machine. जब हम कोई भी काम करते हैं जिसमें we lose our identity, we become with the work, you do fantastic work, fabulous work. This story is written over here, and this is what I have learned from this gentleman who was 70-year-old that time. So जो उन्होंने बताया, अगर सीखना है, then you have to go down in the dirt and walk over there. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you
very much, sir, for wonderful stories. We have a lot of takeaways, isn't it, everybody? Yes, please hold on, sir. Shubham, can I invite you here? Thank you very much. Did we enjoy the morning and the little bit of afternoon today? Yes, we had two wonderful sessions, and I'm sure everybody has a lot of takeaways. All of us saw these two sessions with different perspectives, different angles, and lot many things to carry, lot many stories to carry, isn't it? My name is Harshal Varkhedkar, and I'm your host for this meeting. Thank you very much for being a wonderful audience, very cooperative, very interactive audience. Thank you very much, and drive safely. With this, I hand over to Shubham for a vote of thanks.
I think we are about time, and looks like I am the one who is standing between you and the door. Not a good place to be. So thank you once again for being a great audience. Being here on a Saturday, I think it's really exciting to see all of you open for learning and being part of PMI. I want to take a moment to thank Mr. Ashutosh and Mr. Jaydip for such a great sessions. We keep on working, we keep on delivering projects so much that we tend to forget learning new things, and we lose what we exactly need to do. And I think the session from Mr. Ashutosh was learning about the leadership styles, what we need to rethink and maybe change a little bit the way we work with our teams. And Jaydip bringing us back to basics, that where we have to be on the ground and make sure then take a pull or take a jump when we are stable on the ground. So thank you so much once again, and we look forward to see you again next month in the seminars. And as I said earlier, feel free to reach out to us for if you are interested to be a speaker or being a volunteer to Priyanka. Thank you once again. Have a nice weekend.